wanted me to see flying cars, I'd have been born with blinking wings.
Yeah, sweet, rather twee film, really. Sandro Monetti is editor-in-chief of the Hollywood International Filmmaker magazine, and Sandro joins me live now from LA. Good to see you, Sandro. I mean, it feels like a few years since we focused on the movies rather than the mayhem of the Academy itself. Have we got beyond discussion of diversity and relevance, or is that still sort of front and centre, do you think?
Let me take the opportunity to applaud the Academy. It was only a few years ago that the very future of the Oscars was in doubt with the Oscars So White controversy. They moved swiftly. And I always believe if you change the numbers, you change the game. So did the Academy. 5 years ago, there were 6,000 voters for the Oscars. Now there's nearly 10,000. And the majority of those new members are women and minorities. It's a much more diverse group voting for the Oscars. And this makes the Oscar race much more wide open than before. It's not the usual predictable contest. So this is the 94th Oscars, but with a wider voting field, we could be seeing some surprises in a few hours.
Right. Do you think that means it does actually become a little bit more, let's say, popular and box office oriented than perhaps has been tradition?
Well, this is the Academy's next great challenge. The idea of having 10 Best Picture nominees, it's normally 5 in most of the other categories, is to give the opportunity for more of the crowd-pleasing favourites to find their way in. And I think this really needs to happen if the Academy Awards is to have a future. For example, Spider-Man No Way Home is not just the biggest hit of the pandemic, it's one of the biggest box office hits of all time, but it's a rank outsider in the Oscars race. The favourites for the Academy Awards, Belfast, Licorice Pizza, The Power of the Dog, they're not exactly setting the box office alight. And so it will be interesting to see when the nominations come out if this larger membership has continued to reward just art house favourites or has been able to close the gap between the movies the critics like and the movies that the public like.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point. We'll see how that pans out. Of those that look to be in line for perhaps Best Picture, maybe we can look at one or two of the actors as well. What is your sort of personal feeling? Where does your favouritism lie this year?
Well, I've been lucky enough to interview most of the main contenders, and I don't think I've ever met anyone more dedicated and focused to their craft than Lady Gaga. She is a force of nature, and hearing how hard she worked to pull off the performance in House of Gucci has convinced many Oscar voters that maybe she should be the name on their ballot. Interestingly, the actress race is wide open. Lady Gaga is the only one of the leading contenders to be nominated in all the major awards. So it'll be a huge surprise if she's not there in the morning. On the actor side, Will Smith, who's been nominated twice before, never actually won an Oscar, but I think he gets his big chance, his best chance so far, with King Richard, where he plays the father of Venus and Serena Williams. He has strong competition from Benedict Cumberbatch in The Power of the Dog, the movie which I would probably give a slight edge to in the Best Picture race at the moment. But beyond those two, the field is pretty wide open.
OK, Sandro, as ever, we will hold you to account. Thank you very much. Good to see you. Thanks for giving us such a rundown there.